Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Glendale Housing Authority meeting of January 20th, inauguration day of 2009. May we have a roll call for the Housing Authority, please?
Housing Authority members Draymond. Here. Mincy.
Here.
Najarian.
Here.
Parazian.
Here.
Quintero.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Chairman Yusefian.
Here. May we have your report, please?
The agenda for the January 28, 2009 meeting of the Glendale Housing Authority was posted on Thursday, January 15, 2009 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
Thank you. What's next, please?
There are no minutes. The next is oral communications. Discussion is limited to items not a part of this agenda. Each speaker is allotted 5 minutes. Members of the Housing Authority may question or respond to the speaker, but there will be no debate or decision. The matter may be referred to staff through the Executive Director for investigation and report.
Okay, I have one card. Herbert Milano.
Good afternoon, Chairman Yusefian, members of the Housing Authority and city staff. My name is Herbert Milano. Well, today we watched one of these most significant legacies of American democracy, the peaceful transition of power from one head of state, to another. To me, it continues to be an incredibly amazing event that this country has been able to do that for so incredibly long. And what is so amazing is that the presentation of President Obama today was really about our understanding that the government has, to some extent, been the cause of our degrading quality of life in the past few years, and that government is the instrument for us to remove those problems and basically look towards a better future. So on the one hand, government was the problem, and on the other hand, government is the answer. And I think that in Glendale we can pretty much say the very same thing, that many of the problems that we find today are the cause of government, and that the solution to those problems lies within government itself. It all depends on who gets elected. When I look at what Obama is trying to do, this time of making government accountable, making it work better for us, I think how often does that conversation really comes in front of this body with regard to the situation socially that we have, or the burdens that the people have, because at the end of the day we have to measure our quality of life, and it's something that we don't do on a regular basis. We don't do it consistently. We do surveys that are not necessarily valid in terms of its statistical approach. We have public relation events that makes us appear that we are a caring city, but when it comes down to it, sometimes we need to go outside to get the measures, or we have to go out there and get the measures directly. I was walking precincts this past weekend on Lauderdale, and I ran into this lady on this corner house who lives alone. Her husband died after about 4 years of battling cancer. Her son went to Vietnam and was never able to recover from the effects of Agent Orange, so she supported him as well. And her sister lived for about 2 years with cancer before she died. The woman's, this lady's condition today, economically, is not very strong. And she tells me that her biggest burden is the electrical rates and the water rates, that she cannot afford to wash on a regular basis her laundry, because she cannot afford the fees, that she doesn't water her lawn on a frequent basis because she cannot afford the fees. That she has to continually watch for her electric bill because it's way too high. So externally, where did I get information? From another city on the internet that basically pitted several cities together. And Glendale comes at the second highest rated electrical rate city in all of California, next to Lodi. Second highest electrical rate. I happened to mention it to our quality of life meeting this past week, and I was told, well, it's to be expected because we don't have a business tax. It's amazing to me that somehow we do not seem to connect the fact that how judicious government is with the taxpayers' money has a direct and significant impact on the quality of life of individuals who cannot afford, the higher and higher rates and utility taxes that are being imposed upon them. If you look at the statistics with regard to the number of people who have had their electricity cut off due to inability to pay. It went from about 4,500 the past fiscal year, and it's going now this year about 6,500. So precisely at the time when our population or the population of Glendale finds it more and more difficult to meet, when the individuals who have the least secure jobs find it more difficult to even meet their rent or their electrical bills, we do not consider a way of removing some of that burden by being more judicious with the way the government spends its money. You know, when it comes down to the issue between building a park or giving a significant pension increase, pensions went out. Building a park to the parts that are really needed in Glendale, infrastructure needs versus additional pay raises and promotions, promotions prevail. So government is both the problem and the answer. It is my hope through my advocacy here to at least, bring to the public and to you the type of problems that I see directly and the potential for us to really change the way we do business. Thank you.
Thank you. That was the only card I had. Oral communications closed. What's next, please?
Are there any authority members or staff comments?
Any comments? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We're adjourned.